That time of year again, troops. This time it's Pegasus Lakes in the Champagne region of France, about 3.5 hours southwest. And yeah, left Norfolk about, I don't know, what was it, about 9:30. Got to the tunnel, took a chill pill, still didn't bloody sleep, but anyway. So I'm now on the train, and then a 3.5 hour yomp down to the lake. Like I said, never fished it before, don't know what we're going into. 30 odd acres, a lot of fish, but we'll suck it and see. Trip away from the funny farm. I'm now gonna get my head down for half hour's kip, and then yeah, get tramping. Got some new bits of kit that I'll show you as we go on the trip, all to make life easier. Talk of some big heat coming the end of next week. It's going to be relatively calm, sort of sensible temperatures up to Thursday, and then Thursday and Friday is just, I think Friday's a write-off. You're talking 34 plus, and yeah, that's a write-off. Friday's not a day for fishing, that might be a day for travelling, see if I can get an earlier trip home. But we shall suck it and see. So that'll be me, troops. I'll update you when I get to the lake. Well, boys and girls, day -1 update. Sweating my tits off like a cheap hooker, bloody hell. What a nice water, some big lumps in here, and to top it off, I got my draw I wanted peg 4. The wind is, I'll show you in a minute, but the wind is steaming into this corner where I am, and the beauty of this swim is I've not got mega range. Out in the middle is like 200 plus yards, and I've seen boats out in the middle already, so you know, people are planning on going that far out, whereas me, straight across here's 150, halfway 75. Everyone's a winner, chicken dinner, you know. I've got the first spot that screams out to me is about 40 yards out. There is a weed bed, and I'm thinking, well, fish love weed. One over the other side, and I'm gonna go pick the swim right out in front where John is. Gonna go out there about halfway, find a clear spot, dump it on there, and then I shall send one down to the left. Again, another clear spot, and then you know, feed it. But the owner has said, feed it. They like feed. Hump it in. No problemo, me old cocker. I've got 25 kilo of pellet here, 60 kilo of the old lobster love, and about 5 kilo of crumb ready to rock and roll. So add that with some old meaty fish jollop, we'll be fishing. I was racing to get my rods out. I'm not racing to get my bloody rods out, it's too flipping hot. I'm going to wait till the sun goes down and find my spots a bit later on, and then mark it with the GPS, and either get him out tonight or first thing tomorrow morning early. Might be able to get him out tonight, it depends on what I find. You know, for only the third time I've used a bloody bait boat. Only Rodney I couldn't use one, and my syndicate that I'm on up in Norfolk at Taberham, they've banned them as well. That's just people putting bait boats in silly places. But anyway, give you a quick, I'll swing my phone round so you can have a quick gander at this. I mean, it is a bit of a stunner. It's a rum lump. Right, here we go. This first bit is my left hand side, and I'm going to sweep around. Look at that wind steaming in here. Doesn't get any better than that, me old muckers. Anyway, I'm more than likely will get my rods out tonight. I'm just trying to stay out of this flipping heat. It'll just give me a migraine if I let it. So yeah, we will develop you accordingly. But yeah, so at the moment it's a bottle of water, I think, and chill out. Everything's done. I've got all my rods ready to go. They just need hook baits. My rigs are made. All I've got to do is find my spots and dump bait, get my rigs out. That's it. And then try and do this dump of a bivvy up. But anyway, catch you later. Right, now proper time to get my tits in the sink. Lobster spice crumb, that's the house pellet. Bloody nice pellet, to be fair. And yeah, pile it in. What I'm looking for is a wet consistency kind of ground bait ball. Speaking to the owner yesterday, apparently they do well with liquids in here, so if that has the same results as what Glory did, shit the bed back, man, we're going to have some action. Well, the official start of day one, yeah, bloody typical. Fish have started spawning in my right hand margin again. They've already spawned once, apparently they've been at it for weeks, according to the owner, but is what it is. I'm here now. I'm now fishing. Yesterday was a bit of a write-off. Tired, not thinking straight. Everything was going tits up. I got some baits out, and I had a rod in the water. That's about as best as I can do it. So this morning, I marked the spots where I was fishing on the GPS on the bait boat yesterday. So this morning, I put out, my hoppers are big on my bait boat, and I got 2 full hoppers of crumb, the house pellet, which is bloody good pellet, to be fair. It looks like probably a 5mm pellet. Looks bloody good. And lobster spice crumb, and then a wazza boilie over the top with my bait spinner. You know, so I'm probably got over 2 of the rods anyway, because my left hand rod is in the margin. That is sort of like rod length and a half out. And when you see the buggers cruising in front of your rods, you just got to do it, you know. So that's my left hand rod, is my hit and hope rod out there. I mean, I'm not fishing great distances. I'm only fishing probably 40 yards, if that. You know, 10, 15 wraps. So we're sucking and see, but where I am, and the owner was saying, and the lads that came off last week, he went home yesterday, the weeds in like channels. So it seems to be the fish are patrolling those channels. So dropped 2 rods on a channel, roughly the same distance out. It's not, I mean, I am, you know me, I'm the most laid back carp angler in the world. One thing going for me is I've got the wind steaming in here. It was steaming in here yesterday. It's steaming in here now. Admittedly, though, a bit more steady away than what it was yesterday, but I don't care. I'm fishing properly now. I've had a good night's kip. Probably slept. I went to sleep about 6 p.m. last night, so about 5 o'clock your time. And John came round in his van and said, "You left your lights on." Bollocks. So this morning, first job, battery off, put the spare on. Type of stupid idiot I am, or in this situation, not a stupid idiot, because I've got a spare. So now we're worky again. Now the bat van is all back up and running at 100%. So going forward now, I've got 2 rods out, 1 in the margins. I'm now getting house sorted out. You know, house is a lot better. Always try to sort of get settled in. It's a bomb site at the moment, but it will be better. I've got a cup of the old sump oil on the go. It's my 3rd cup of the day, just to keep the old brain going. And now it's just a matter of hunkering up, and because it's going to be another fucking warm one by the look of it. It's clear skies. It's going to be an absolute bruiser. I think we're all having a social Wednesday night. Big heat forecast for Thursday. I'll decide the Wednesday what I'm going to do. If it's big heat, as much as they say it is, 33 plus, I'll be heading back to Blighty. I don't do heat. You know, don't get me wrong, steady away. If I'm sort of 25 to 27, 27 and a half, not a problem, can stick that. Once you're over 33, bollocks to it, let's head home. So, and I'm not making myself ill over fishing in heat. Sod that, I've had heat stroke before, and that is not fun. I've also fished in heat before. Did a bit of number crunching yesterday. I'm in the Champagne region down here at Pegasus Lakes, and it's 30 years next year, so 29 years that I fished my first session in the Champagne region. Probably, I don't know exactly where it is, where the lake I was at, but it's not far from here, because Shantycock is only up the road, and I know that lake that I was at was near Shantycock, so not a million miles away. So bit of a memorable kind of bit of nostalgia, really. Caught my first 20-pound grass carp there, and thank bloody light. Well, I hate grass carp. Grass carp are not my thing. So it was like, that's the first and only grass carp I caught, and it can stay the first and only grass carp I've ever caught for all I care. That's jinxed it. Probably got to hoik one out, knowing me. But so we're steady away. Got my coffee on. Now I'm sitting back and watching the water. Obviously the old fish are getting jiggy down my left hand margin. Is what it is. Enough bugger all you can do about it. Obviously I'll update you with developments as we go. I think we're all only just now getting going. And yeah, happy days. The sun is out. I've got a brew in my hand. Life is easy. All go on the water this morning. It's like the bloody Spanish Armada. There's John's digs over there. Lovely weather at the moment. Still drinking coffee, more coffee. And yeah, all good in the hood. Right, we're in Dalek mode. Why the hell I didn't put my Polaroids on first thing this morning, I do not know. Brain fart. But now I have put my Polaroids on, I can see actually, instead of one big bed of weed out there, there's 3. Sort of like in a triangle. And then I've just moved my left-hand rod not far from where it was. Maybe 3 or 4 yards, if that. And I've just dumped it, and another load of bait, another load of the old pellety lobster spice crumb jollop, straight 2 big hoppers, boomf, straight there. That's there for the duration now. If I don't get a run, that's staying put. Like I've said before, I'm using the little red cherry cup zig baits in red, 8mm, something different. And they're good for a week. So that rod there is now sorted. If I don't catch a run, I'm not touching the bugger again. I'll have a little bait up. Maybe tomorrow I'll go and stick another load out. Keep that spot going, provided the weed doesn't move. It seems to be fairly well rooted at the moment. Middle rod's in the clear, there's no weed out there. And then my margin rod, well, yeah, I can chuck stuff at that, so that's neither here nor there. So a little more confident than I was. You know, sometimes it just takes a little bit of sit down, a few cups of enthusiasm to figure out what the plan of action is. But anyway, now a lot more confident than I was, and I was confident anyway, but I've now got that smidge more. It's full on, tits in the sink now. We're gunning for it. I've had a couple of bacon banjos in my porridge this morning, and coffee's flowing lovely. Temperature at the moment is 20 degrees. I've got a thermometer on the end of my bivvy, so I can see what the temperature is, and that's in the shade, so it's about 21, 22 in the shade. When that sun swings round, it's going to be straight in my kisser, and it's going to be a warm. But anyway, keep you updated on developments, and yeah, all out from Feral HQ, France. Morning. Monday update, and all is quiet. 2 fish lost this morning out in the weed in the middle of the lake. They're still spawning, they're still going for it out there. They were at it in the margin on my left hand side and my right hand side yesterday. So they're not completely done. Apparently they've been spawning for weeks, about 4 weeks. No action yet to my rods, but I play the long ball game anyway. My rods will sit there, my baits are good for 5, 6, 7 days. It doesn't, you know, I've got a fair dollop, you know, I'm sitting on a fair dollop of bait. I mean, I went out with 2 rods yesterday with the bait boat, and my hoppers were full, and if my hoppers are full, you're talking each rod best part had 5 kilo over it yesterday, just in those 2 hoppers. So yeah, she was going out fairly heavily laden. My spots are good. Yeah, on a lake this size, 30 acres, and you take a draw, so you're drawing your peg. You know, you're not wandering around the lake looking for fish. You draw your peg, you do your best you can with what you got, which is what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm tramping it home on Thursday morning. I'm not dealing with the 34 degree heat that's forecast for Thursday and Friday. Fuck that for a game of soldiers. Me and heat, or that kind of heat, just puts me in a migraine. Not even worth dealing with. So yeah, I'm tramping it home. I'll be packing up shop Wednesday. We're having a social Wednesday night, and then Thursday I'm heading back to Blighty. It's a beautiful lake. It is a really, really stunning lake. Pete, bless him, he's done a stonking job. I mean, the 4 years that he's had this, he's done a stonking job of, you know, making it the way it is. Good head of fish. You know, you can't knock the bloke. He's piled some bloody money into it. That's for a dead cert. I mean, I'm slogging on. My spots are good. I mean, like I said, I went out with the old Titanic yesterday, and you know, they've got a fair dollop of bait on them. And until something tells me to do something, add more bait, I'm just going to wait and see. Wait and see what happens. My hook baits are good for 5 days to a week, so I haven't got to worry about that. I loathe to put any more bait in until I get some action. Once I get some action, and then I know that I've got to keep on to it. and just sort of like plod on really. I've got to do a Zoom course at 9 o'clock Blighty time for work. You know, that's a committed employee, should I say. Yeah, so we're chilling, and we just suck it and see. Cooler this morning, certainly a lot cooler this morning. It's mind you, it's still bloody early. It's only what 7:45, so it's still quite cool. Overcast. It's going to get warm later, about 23, 24, 25 tomorrow, and then 29 on Wednesday, and then the big heat comes Thursday, Friday, and yeah, like I said, fuck that. Head home and just take a chill pill, and yeah, that's about all. That's about all that's going on at the moment, troops. It's a slog. Proper carp fishing for you. Proper carp fishing. You've got to work at this. You know, like I said, drawing your pegs, hard work. It is hard work because you take what you've got. You've got to work with what you've got. And if the fish ain't here, the fish ain't here. I mean, they had a bit of a show yesterday. They moved off. I am now just set. Now it's time for them to tell me what they're going to do. If I get a run, bang, I know, and I can bring my other rods in nearer to that spot and then work it. Because I'm fishing, like I said yesterday, I'm fishing a triangle. I've got one, it's sort of like I've got one out in front, one there and one there. So I'm fishing my triangle, and I'm just sort of trying to find where the fish are. If I get a run, I've got to move those rods closer to where the fish are, and then we suck it and see. That's the plan of action anyway. Righto troops, I'll update you later. That's enough of me rumbling on a load of gibberish. And yeah, update you boys and girls. This is what you call proper carp fishing. I reeled in this morning. One of the lads was going to the supermarket, so I asked him to get me some water because apparently the water here is not brilliant. So he got me some water. I reeled in. I had a Zoom course for work to do first thing. Rested to swim for the day, or most of the day. Got that done and dusted, got me water, got back. Tits in the sink time. Got my rods back out. I've moved the left-hand rod and the middle rod out further. There's no weed there. It's a little bit itty bitty. Nothing much really to go on feature-wise out there. It is what it is, you know. So they're out there, I don't know, halfway across, so you're probably talking 70 yards, something like that. And then I put my right-hand rod back exactly in the triangle of weed, or the weed beds that are there. So there's one there, and one here, and I'm smack bang in the middle where I was yesterday. So that's had a fair old trosh of bait on there. I mixed up some more crumb, pellet, and the meaty fish last night, and today that went rock hard, which was lovely because it's absorbed it all. So as soon as that hits the water, that will just sink, and then that will just constantly break down and release the liquids. So I level filled my bait boat, and if I've level filled the Titanic and then put my bait out, I've probably put about 5 kilo on that one spot. Funny you should say that. Since I've done that, nothing this afternoon. All I've been getting is liners, so it's just bloody lovely. So something's obviously down there troshing into something, and it's been fizzing like a cheap jacuzzi. My old glory saying, you know, fizzing like a cheap jacuzzi. And believe it or not, I've got a fish topping and gurgling and farting in my left hand margin. where they were spawning yesterday. So like I said, I'm a proper carp angler. Blanking is what blanking is. You draw your peg. This trip we drew pegs. Who's going to have what? You draw your peg, you take your luck. You work at it, you chip away at it. I'm fishing a 30-acre water, for Christ's sake. If you want to catch carp after carp after carp after carp on a trip like this, go fish a 1.5-acre lake like a bloke I know did. Him and 5 of his mates. I think it was 1.5 acres, or was it 3 acres? It might have been 3 acres. And they had 50 carp between them for the week. That's not carp fishing. That's just pasty bashing. You know, they went for action, whereas me, I don't bloody care. You know, it's a week away from the funny farm, like I've said 1,000 times. You know, so I'm optimistic always. You know, the rig's cock on. It's proving itself at Glory, and it's proving itself at home too. The bait I've got 110% faith in. It's not the bait. If I don't catch this week, or while I'm here anyway, I'm going home Thursday because I'm not going to do the 34, 35 degree heat that's coming at the end of the week. If I don't catch, it's not through effort. It's just the fish aren't here. I mean, this morning, 4 a.m, they were bubbling, farting and splashing and going ahead in the big weed bed in the middle of the lake. That's where the buggers are. You know, they're all hunkered up in there. And that weed is like, you're fishing holes. If you want to fish there, you fish holes. So, plan of action is now sit tight. I've just had my BBQ. So now it's just sit back and watch the jacuzzi fizz and see what happens. Like I said, proper carp fishing. Well, see if this makes a change. The wind direction has swung. Straight into my kisser now. If this doesn't bring the fish in, yeah. But like I said, more fish have been lost out there in that big weed bed. I'm going nowhere near it. If I hook something, I want to land it. Big wind and big waves. Tell you what, boys and girls, if this doesn't bring the fish in to me, I can't say I've not tried. Kettle's on, get the coffee brewing, and keep on tramping. Well, good evening, troops. Executive decision made. I'm going home tomorrow. I'll pack up shop after breakfast. Well, lunchtime, I'll go around and see the lads, go and grab a shower and get up the road. 3.5 hours to Calais. I haven't got to rush. I've got plenty of time. I'm not crossing till 6:15, I think. So tomorrow night, so I've got plenty of time. It's going to be hot tomorrow. The fish just ain't having it. And like I've said before 100 times, 1,000 times even, if you're on the bank with me, it's proper carp fishing. It is what it is. No airs and graces. Raw, told truth. So this is where I love you and leave you. I appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch my mindless gibberish. Unless of course I get a run in the night and then I'll update you again. But if I don't, much love to you all. Like I said, I appreciate everybody who takes 5 minutes to watch this gibberish, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Tight lines, and yeah,